I should have known something was up there. Won't be getting paid for training until you're actually out of training. Get a damn message talking about
Go Cinderella, orgasm blush, lipstick, 𝐾𝐥𝐰𝐚𝐲𝐬.
Welcome back to my channel, you guys. It is 𝐸𝐻𝐻. Lots has happened, a lot has changed. Thank you. 1,200. I'm amazed. Thank you for the emails, thank you for the comments. It just really warms my heart and definitely motivates me to keep going despite the way life hits me. If you're completely new here on my channel, I document a lot of my journeys just to give a realistic vibe of a normal person trying to do similar things. I hope to inspire, motivate. The last time I spoke with you all, it's basically just giving tips on do's and don'ts in esthetician school. So, this is an update on my life after school. So as an esthetician, you graduated, you got your license. If you don't have a plan and don't have a plan, I suggest you have one. So if you're in school, you're about to graduate, or you're thinking about going to school, getting to school and you're getting an idea of what you want to do exactly, what you want to specialize in, I highly suggest that you have a plan set out on what you're going to do after school. Because honestly, I had my plan. I knew I wanted to take a break because I have been posting so many vlogs back to back just to refresh my mind. I was going to be a home-based esthetician. But here's the thing. I like to say all the time that life stops for no one, and that was my plan at first, but then life took a turn for me. Back to the drawing board, I had to go. It definitely was discouraging because I was so in it, and y'all know I was so in it. I was so ready to just go and do. Based on that happening to me, I want to share that don't feel like that. Please know that it is okay to not just get your suite, get everything you need right after graduating, because honestly, it's not really realistic. You really don't know what life is going to throw at us by the time we graduate. When I say I graduated in life, it was just yeah, congratulations. But let's get back to the life stuff. I took a really long pause on just aesthetics, period. So I said to myself, okay, well, I have my license and I don't want to just have a license and not be using it. It needs to feel like it's worth it. And if I'm just sitting on a license not doing anything with it, it honestly made me feel like I did all this for nothing. That led me to finding a job. I wanted to at least just have a job, at least as a part-time, to just get my foot in the door, to have experience. Literally a year ago, I passed my state board. I finally went ahead and paid for my license. It was about $30. I went ahead and did that finally because I tried to get my first job, and I was waiting to move on in the hiring process because they needed proof that I had my license. So I also had an interview with the waxing center. She tells me that they don't send it in the mail anymore. So I was confused because when I graduated, back then they were sending it in the mail. Now they're not sending the license in the mail. They send it to you via email. I am officially a licensed esthetician in the state of Illinois. Sent it to me. It's like a link. You get your license number, your access code, and you'll be able to print it from there. Don't know if your school hasn't informed you. They do not, at least in Illinois, they do not send license or anything like that in the mail anymore. It is via email. You have to print it out yourself. First job I applied to were wax centers because I wasn't really confident in, going into a regular spot to do facials and everything, because honestly, guys, I was scared. First, I applied to the European Wax Center, and I went ahead and applied to Sugar and NYC. I made me a simple resume. I also did a cover letter just to give them my idea, hey, I'm really interested in your company. I really want to be a part of your company, basically just expressing that. I went ahead and listed my experience anyways, but then noted, this is my first aesthetic job though. Listed all of my skills. Communication, consultation, stuff like that. Certifications, so I added, my COVID, barbicide, skin cancer, all that. I added all of that. I had interviews for both. I had a phone interview, one location at Sugar and NYC that never got back to me. I had an interview with the European Wax Center, told me to just wait so I got my license, call her back. And by the time I did have my license and I reached out, then nobody reached back out to me. So it was a lot of trial and error with that. So actually I got off topic and forgot to mention that I actually got hired to 𝐚𝐤𝐼𝐻. I started having transportation issues again. There goes life hitting me again. I wasn't able to finish training because I was calling off or trying to reschedule my training. They let me go because they said that it was too long in training. But overall, about that company, I did love, how it looked in there. Everything's pink. Everyone was friendly. But yes. I said, okay, I'm not getting anywhere with the waxing. I'm going to go to Lash Tech, which was the last thing I wanted to do, honestly. I don't know why. It just wasn't a part of my plan. At that time, I needed income at the end of the day. I wanted to switch full-time eventually, but I needed income. All right. And so I applied to this lash place. They called me, we had a phone interview, and she basically told me, this is what threw me off. Most places do this. Keep this in mind. Basically, she was telling me that, yeah, we can get you started, we can get you trained. However, you won't be getting paid for training until you're actually out of training. The reason why they do that is because, some people go and get this free training and then they leave. I don't kind of blame them, not gonna lie, because the pay, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I understand why they do that, but I also understand why the businesses do that. Because, dang, we, training you for free. Stuff that the school is not teaching you, the least you could do is really work for us. I'm like, okay, all right, you're going to hold my check. Cool, I understand. And so I told her, based on my situation, I don't think I could be full-time right now, especially because I won't be getting paid then. So I said, all right, cool. How long is the training? Yeah, it just depends on you, how fast you can learn. Not gonna work, because I honestly don't know. I'm a fast learner, but what if this is something that it's gonna take me weeks and weeks and weeks to get? I'm not getting paid weeks and weeks and weeks. That didn't work out. I kind of stopped looking at lash studios. Took a pause on that, just altogether. Maybe it's just not time, not time. Took a pause. Winter got here. Life was still lifing. Wasn't in my own place anymore. Car issues. Finally, fast forward back to June, I definitely needed a second income by this time of the year. I needed a second income. So I went back on the job search, updated my resume, all that kind of stuff. I was on Indeed. I'm gonna just keep it honest. In the state of Illinois, because I don't know about other states, but it's really not a lot of places that you can apply to. I already applied to certain other places the first time. Not really interested in reapplying. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try another lash studio. I'm gonna try some spa places. I was out of the fear mindset of here. I know we have Hand and Stone, Massage Envy, Amazing Lash Studio. I was applying to even spas I ain't even never heard of. None of the spas got back to me. I call them, they won't answer. I applied for Amazing Lash Studio. The moment I replied, literally later that day, I got an email. I should have known something was up there. Honestly, if a job reach out to you for an interview the same day that you apply, thumbs up. I don't know, something's up. But I was super excited. I had a phone interview with the manager. I hired Amazing Lash Studio, and I was excited. Even when I went there, I loved the way it looked, the vibe, it was clean. It felt good to be in the aesthetic environment. Seeing the front desk, seeing the bright lights, seeing the suites and all of that stuff. It was just a lot of back and forth. They knew that I was still working full-time. They knew that eventually I wanted to become full-time, but I kind of just wanted to get my foot in the door first and really know what I'm doing. There, I believe $13 an hour on training, and everything was kind of commission-based, so it depended on what service you did. Also, what I did like about this company is, clearly it's levels. If you're beginner or master, you don't have to wait for the manager to say, hey, we'd like to move you up. Based on your comfortability. You can come in as a beginner, and the moment you feel like you're ready to go to the second level, you can let them know. They'll watch you, start looking at, your reviews, basically just trying to see if that's a fit for you, if you're ready to move on to the next level. So I was down. I was ready to start. Got my license in time, boom, training starts. My first day of training, my training was late. Training wasn't really clear what I was gonna do. They had me watch a lot of videos, take a lot of tests, Definitely learned a lot of things I never even heard of about school. The videos taught me about different adhesives. I learned the steps to lashing, prepping, post-lashing, troubleshooting, all kinds of stuff. Learned good things. I got there on my train and they basically just had me on the mannequin. The trainer was a trainer that also worked there. So overall, the training experience just wasn't worth it. I mastered my mannequin, which I had shared that I already did on my own. The only thing I felt like I was trained on was how to lash map, which was very helpful. Literally about it that we got to. And so they told me that training was 2 weeks. Because I work full-time, Monday through Friday, I'm only off on the weekends. My training schedule went based off the trainers, which wasn't open. She was really busy, clearly because she was on the master level, so everybody was booking her. It just didn't make sense to me. And I was only probably there 2 times out of my first week of training, guys. 2 times, and that was it. And then they're like, yeah, so the second week, you can bring in models and you'll be doing 3 different sets on people. They'll only pay $20. On the classic sets, I'm like, okay, cool, that's nothing. I think that's fine. We were supposed to be learning volume lashes, how to apply them and all of that, placement. We did not get to that. My very first model was a fellow esthetician that I went to school with. Shout out to Brenda. She came and supported me. I also had 2 other people coming, but I didn't even get to them because my very first time having a model, y'all, the communication was terrible. They're telling my model one time, I'm telling them one time, and they're like, oh, well, when I called to schedule, they told me this time. Okay, got here, the whole parking situation was just parking, you had to pay for it. I think it came out of your check. You will park in the parking garage. That was kind of like iffy. So it just made me a little anxious that day. I really wasn't confident, honestly. Like, everything just was not moving well. My trainer also had clients that day. We hadn't even seen each other. I came in, seen the manager. My model came in. I got 2 lashes on, y'all. The time was just short anyway. Like, there was so much time I could have used, but they pushed my model at a certain time that was supposedly going to be a great time for my trainer to be there. My trainer had someone that she had a client at the time that I was actually practicing on my model, so she probably popped in twice, which I was fine with. I'm kind of nervous when people are over me anyway, but long story short, that experience did not go well. It just wasn't enough time. Even my trainer understood. Like, I really wasn't even there. We need to figure something out. I want you to have more time. I think it's unfair that training is just not how it should be. Like, honestly, I feel like if my availability didn't match up with the trainers, I honestly should not have been hired, if that's the case. The manager tells me, yeah, we'll hit you up. Basically, we'll reach out to you and schedule. That's how all of my training days had went. It was not one of those scheduled things. It literally was just, yeah, we'll reach out. Yeah, we'll reach out. And they'll probably reach out a couple days before the actual training date. And couldn't work with it. I like to get mentally prepared. Couldn't get mentally prepared for none of this. Like, it just wasn't a smooth pavement. It was kind of like, didn't like it. So, as I'm waiting, per usual, waiting on the manager to reach out, I didn't hear nothing. There was this app, I forgot, but it was an app that all the lash techs were in. It was their way of communicating. As I'm waiting, I get a damn message talking about, hi guys, Ola's not with us anymore. So from here on out, just reach out to me. And this is the store person, the store manager or whatever. Never met the girl. But the manager fucking quit. She quit. Either she quit or got fired. After that, I said, okay, I'm gonna give them 2 days and see. I'm gonna see if they're gonna message me, if they're gonna reach out. Because I'm still waiting on the day that I'm supposed to be coming in to learn volume and do these other models so I can get on the floor. 2 days went by and I got no response, so I went ahead and wrote up an email. I wrote a beautiful email and I said, good morning. I would like to start off by saying thank you for this opportunity to work with Amazing Lash Studio. I was very excited to start and get a start to my career. However, I don't think this is a good fit for me at this time. Training for me hasn't been going as well as I had hoped. I do want to mention Tamika is a great trainer. I just don't think my availability matches hers as well as before. There and was rarely any communication about when I would continue training this week. I was told training was 2 weeks, but I don't think I've learned enough to do models yet. Again, thank you for this opportunity. I hope maybe in the future, when my availability is more open, I can reapply. So they reply and say, "Hi Jahari, I do apologize about the gap in training, and I identified that as well as I spoke with, but unfortunately she's gone now. The structure and expectations was not clearly laid out as it should have been. The models are required and is the training, but you are required to have models. Please let us know if you have more availability to be able to get full experience. Best of luck." First of all, models are required and is the training. Sis, really there is the issue. It's not how the structure of training and what's required. It's I'm not even able to do what's required. Anyway, never replied back to them, but that was the end of that story. But overall, like, I really liked the place. Like, I liked my uniform. I was just like, no. I don't need nothing else stressing me out because I had so much other things stressing me out. That was giving red flag. And that has honestly been the last place that I've applied to. There's no other places for me to apply. And that's the thing about estheticians or just aesthetics here in Illinois, maybe. I feel like there's not a lot of jobs here. It's kind of like, going into this industry, you might as well, number one, go to school just for the license. Because a lot of people have even said in my comments that that's kind of what the school is for. School is just going to get you your license. It's looking like, to me, after everything, your best bet is to be a solo esthetician and be your own boss, because it's not a lot of facilities to work at. It really just depends on your circumstances, and I'm just keeping it a buck. I need a place that's stable, professional, direct. It needs to be smooth sailing based on what I'm going through. I don't have time for all of the no calling back, not scheduling. Please miss me with it. And I didn't even get paid for that little training that I did. Just my realization, that's just how I feel. I'm not telling you what to do or how to do it. I'm just sharing my experience, and maybe you can learn or keep things in mind. But yeah, so that's just the conclusion that I've come to. I'm still trying to get my foot in the door to, even get a real feel of what money's gonna look like. But it's like, I can't even get into a facility because they're either not hiring, you get hired, you can't even get past training. So after all of that happened, I said, you know what? I'm just gonna be a solo esthetician. So at this point in time, life was a little better. Feeling more content, I went ahead and started looking for rental booths. Renting a room, renting a little area within a spa or beauty salon or whatever. I was blessed with the opportunity of having my own space. I was paying weekly rent, $186. Just based on everything that I was going through, that was a lot of money. Still kind of trying to understand the best way to do this. So if you're already a solo esthetician and you have advice, please feel free to comment down the best way you think it is to go solo, because right now I'm kind of learning as I go, which is natural, but I couldn't afford it because it was hard. I have bills that I need to pay. I still have to make money. I'm still working full time. That money I'm investing into starting this second business. I'm taking money from the money that I'm making. One thing I do suggest, though, if you do for sure know you have that support system, I made an Amazon wish list and I went ahead and just sent it out to whoever I think could possibly help me get this stuff. I decided to do lashing because that was something that I could start quick enough. But I do suggest definitely do the Amazon wish list and literally just ask for help, guys. Honestly, ask for help. A person like me, it's definitely hard asking for help because I'm just so used to doing everything by myself. I'm really passionate about this, but honestly, just sit back and ask yourself, are you ready? Do you have everything figured out? I'm gonna just keep it a buck, I didn't. And if you know me, I'm pretty organized with things. I'm not gonna lie, I was in a desperate place of just getting started. I'm just eager to do it, you know what I'm saying? Which is nothing wrong with feeling that, but just so you don't stress yourself out, please have a plan, please have an idea of how you're gonna pay for this stuff, the stuff that you need to buy, all of that. I just couldn't do it. So I went ahead, gave the key back, and now as we speak, I don't have space. All I have right now is my esthetician license. That's what made me come up with this video, because I really was thinking to myself, dang, I can't even get started in this career. Is it even worth me doing this? I don't want to throw all this away. But is this for me? Was my question. It's gonna be a career, lifetime career, or is this just gonna be a side hustle? Because at first in my head, I'm like, this is a lifetime career. I'm gonna have this, that. And I could still have everything I have in mind. But the way things are going right now, there's a little shift in how I'm gonna do things, and I just wanted to update you guys on my journey and how things have been going, for me at least. I hope things are going well for you all, but I would really love to know where you guys are in your journey. Share advice, especially if you're a solo esthetician and you got your business running. So that's where I'm at. I am a solo esthetician. I'm going to continue to try to be a solo esthetician, and my plan is to basically go back to my home-based idea, especially until I build my clientele. Once I know for sure that I can afford the rent, I at least have some regular clients that are gonna come into the space, then I'll move on to that. And I think that's the best way to think. I've also been working on networking. Definitely do that. You could do that now. Network with different students, meet other estheticians. You never know, somebody's probably in the same position as you. You guys could work together, help each other, exchange information, network. We're all in this together. This is not a competition, at least not here, because we all gonna win. I don't know what everybody else on. From here on out, that's what most of my content and everything will consist of. Realistic, raw and uncut. Because honestly, like, we see so many videos here on YouTube of the lash tech, you know, she already got her suite, she already got her clients, she got clients coming in, like, and we don't see how she got there. And that's what I'm doing on my channel. And so if you're interested in that, if you're interested in keeping up with me, go ahead and subscribe. You don't want to miss it, because I have so much planned. Now that I've honestly just been honest with myself, yeah, girl, we gonna have to. I'm gonna be aesthetically pleasing, which is okay. I think social media make us feel like it has to be. No, I will be starting in the front room, doing my lashes, and we gonna level it up. Ain't nothing wrong with that, and that's what I want to be an advocate for. Starting from the bottom if we have to. I really hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I hope I didn't talk too much. I'm gonna keep at it because I have a passion for skincare. But yes, please stay tuned. Again, I hope you love this video, and